May 22nd meeting of the St. Bernard Village Council will please come to order. We invite you to stand for the prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. Our Father, who art in heaven, as a body we congregate in this council chambers for the betterment of our fellow citizens, lead us that we may do all things well. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Morton?
Present.
Mr. Stuchel?
Present.
Mr. Edwards?
Present.
Ms. Hausfeld? Here. Mr. Schuldmeyer?
Present.
Mr. Culbertson?
Present.
And Mr. Estep?
Present.
Let the record show that all 7 members are present. Members of council, what is your pleasure on the reading of the last minutes?
Mr. President,
Mr. Schultmeyer.
I'll make a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Schultmeyer, seconded by Mr. Estep to dispense with the reading of the last minutes. Are there any remarks? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So ordered. Members of council, are there any errors or corrections to the minutes as submitted? If not, the minutes will stand as submitted. We'll move to reports of city officials. Mayor Jonathan Stuchel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd first like to start by thanking our awesome recreation department for another great concert this last Saturday where Slow Train played for our opening event of the season. They were fabulous and everyone had a wonderful evening with the great music, hang out with family and friends, and of course, all of the great grilled food prepared by our recreation department. So thanks again for showing up. I will most likely be announcing that during this next week, during the time in which the Aquatic Center will be open, that all access to the pavilion will need to be through the pool entrance. That means that access cards will be deactivated for the pool season so that we can better monitor the pool and pavilion so that everyone can enjoy our facilities. We've been having some issues with some undesirable conduct in the pavilion, and we have people propping the gate open so that those that do not have an access card can enter. We'll be posting a code of conduct in the pavilion, and for those who choose not to follow the rules, we'll have their access eliminated. Please join us on Monday, May 26th at 10 a.m. in the lower level parking lot of City Hall as we honor the following veterans from our community who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Everyone is invited to stay at the conclusion of our service for donuts, coffee, and orange juice that will be available in Centennial Hall. Just as a reminder, veterans killed in World War I were Edward Dumler, Elmer Ellert, Fred Kalkenbrenner, Stanley Masters, John Richter, Ambrose Simpson, Charles Stover, and Carl Thronley. Veterans killed in World War II were Hubert Backherms, Richard Brausch, Leslie Davis, William Devine, Kenneth DeVore, Walter Dundas, Donald Hancock, August Hinnenkamp, Donald Huddleston, Arthur Mantley, William Montgomery, John Nunless, Floyd Robbins, Gilbert Robbins, Ernest Samd, James Shepard, William Seifert, Paul Schwartz, Leo Delantello, Leonard Torbeck, Robert Voles, Carl Wallenhorst, Irvin Ward, Randolph Weir, and Jerome Witzman. And of course, veterans killed in the Korean War were Edward Engelhardt. We will never grow tired of hearing these names, and they will continue to be honored for their ultimate sacrifice. On May 25th of this month will be May 29th of this month will be the last call for 7 Robert 91, Lieutenant Bill Ungrue. Lieutenant Ungrue has been a resident of St. Bernard for his entire 66 years. He is a graduate of St. Clement, Roger Bacon, Xavier University. He served 5 years in the U.S. Army, leaving as a captain, acting as a personnel and computer operations officer. He started with the St. Bernard Police Department on April 1st of 1996 as a patrolman and was promoted to lieutenant in 2004. And his retirement in 2025 completes his nearly 30 years of service to the community. He's worn many important hats during his time. He was a patrol supervisor, the TAC officer for computers, public information officer. He also led the accreditation and collaborative standards manager, wrote the first policy and procedure manual for the department, set up 4 RMS systems and social media programs. He was the training lieutenant and founding member of the Hamilton County Honor Guard. Lieutenant Ungrue said that his 3 fondest memories are policing his hometown and the friendships with residents, coworkers, and other first responders over the years, and being a founding member of the HCPA Honor Guard, establishing the school threat assessment team, training for the local schools and businesses. While missing his coworkers and citizens, he looks forward to his retirement to travel to his favorite spots in Colorado, along with his supportive and loving wife of 43 years, Elaine, and spending time with his children, Ben and Christina, and his grandkids. Lieutenant Ungrew, we wish you and your family the best in your retirement. Be safe and healthy. We appreciate your 35 years of service to your community and country. You will be missed. And if you have a chance to see Lieutenant Ungrew before the 29th, please stop him and thank him for his dedicated and faithful service to our village. Congratulations. Well done, good and faithful servant. In closing, I have some great news for the village of St. Bernard. As some of you may have heard, U.S. Medical Glove Company will now be occupying the former St. Bernard soap location's 638,000 square foot facility, where they are projected to create over 200 jobs for Ohio workers by the end of 2025, where they will establish 16 proprietary glove production lines here in the village. So that's great news. So more information will be forthcoming, and as soon as they have hiring events, I will be making that available to everyone in the community. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Auditor, Ms. Brickwig.
Thank you, Mr. President. First on my agenda is I'm going to start working on the summer budget. My goal is to hopefully have the public meeting before the June council meeting so I can get it to the county by July. The second thing on the agenda tonight is ordinance 15, 2025. It has a general fund transfer out of $2,040,000 with $1,500,000 going into master planned cash account and $540,000 going into the capital improvement cash account. It also includes the following additional appropriations: $5,000 into 2C2 Bureau of Inspection. That is the money that we pay the state auditor to review our reports, and they've created some new reports that they need to be paid to review. $2,000 into equipment maintenance, 209. This is to basically cover, we've had a lot of, I know 2,000 is a lot, but a lot of minor expenses that are adding up, especially one in particular is electric. We're putting in new cameras. The swimming pool has needed a lot of repairs. The police department's doing some new cameras. So it's to cover a lot of the little things that were not expected in the original budget. Streets 233-4, the street contracts for $525,442.34. This is the money that we will owe for the Greenlee Road project. Then in the streets 233-12, traffic lights 10,000. We've had an increase of traffic lights going out lately. So we just ordered a few more, which were about $2,000 a piece. So I'm just putting some additional money in there to get us to the end in case more of them break. Streets and sewers 05 master plan 9, $1,487,876. What this is $1,212,526.88 for the Greenlee water and $275,348.72 for the Langley water. We will be getting this money back from the waterworks. I've actually received $218,000 toward the Langley this week, but in order to pay the contractor to do the water work, I need to appropriate the money that we will be getting back. So it's not really an additional expense. And then 0701 capital improvements, $542,910. This is the second payment on the engine truck for the fire department. Are there any questions? Because I know that was a lot.
Mr. President.
Mr. Schultmeyer.
Peggy, when you mentioned ordinance 15, I think last week you also talked about we needed more money for additional reports or audit reports or something.
That's what Bureau of Inspection is.
That's what that is, okay.
Yes. Yes. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Director of Law, Ms. Van Valkenburg.
Thank you. You have before you this evening and to be voted on is resolution number 5, which deals with the agreement with Energy Alliances. As you will recall, this is the organization that's going to assist the village in becoming an energy aggregator. Should that pass the ballot initiative, they're going to provide services basically, essentially free of charge to the village, and as championed by Mr. Morgan. So that's before you this evening. I also have before you ordinance number 16, which I understand was discussed at Cal, Committee of the Whole, transferring, which would transfer the now empty lot at 4416 Greenlee Avenue to the Community Improvement Corporation. It's my understanding that any tax liability would pass to that entity as well, and it would allow the lot to be marketed and sold. So you have those before you this evening. I do need to go into executive council this evening toward the end of the meeting to discuss pending and potential litigation. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Treasurer, Ms. Darrenkamp.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to report on the Star Ohio account balance as of April 30th of this year. At that time, we had a share value of $11,292,250.71. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Safety and Service Director, Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have supplied a written report to the council previously, but I wanted to point out a couple of items in there. First, I think I mentioned this briefly last month. The village is working through a grant that we received from Hamilton County on the Vine Street Historic Business District. We have an ad hoc committee that was set up to review 4 proposals that we received from very good firms. That ad hoc committee narrowed it down to 2. Those 2 firms will be coming in next week for interviews, and we hope by sometime next month that we'll have a recommendation to the council for approval of a contract with a recommended firm. And again, that ad hoc committee consists of myself and Mayor Stutchell, also 2 residents in the community, 1 business owner and 1 resident in the community, and then a representative from Alloway who's helping us through the process. It's gone very well so far. Secondly, I wanted to bring up to the council a potential project that kind of came out of the blue in some discussions, early discussions a few weeks ago with Fifth Third Bank regarding a sidewalk issue. We found out that they were going to pave their parking lot. If you're aware of how the property lines run in our municipal parking lot, it's sort of odd. It's a collection of 3 different pie-shaped parcels of property, 1 owned by Fifth Third, 1 by us, and 1 by the Eagles Club. And so that basically contains all of the parking, both on the side of the building as well as here behind us. So we looked into that, and the question came up because the parking lot, obviously it's old and it's been a while since it's been paved. Is there a possibility that we could work jointly to be able to get that parking lot repaved? So we started exploring that a bit, and we've sort of gone through, and I put that in my report to you, and gone through a long and winding road to determine that ultimately, back in 1981, the city at the time of St. Bernard had agreed with the Eagles Club to obtain an easement because part of this building was built on their property, inadvertently, I guess. And as part of that easement agreement at the time, the city had agreed to maintain in perpetuity their portion of the parking lot, to pave it and stripe it and keep it clean and so forth. There was a little wrinkle in there in that we had a hard time trying to track down exactly where that easement signed agreement was. We still haven't quite found that and whether it was filed or not, but I did send the information to our law director, and she agrees with me that the intent is clear, that the council did pass an ordinance for that easement. We just can't seem to find the signed copy of it at this point, but I think the law director is going to make a stab at the county recorder's office to see if we can find it. If we don't have that, the council probably will need to go back and just get a signed copy of that easement agreement so that we have it and we can record it properly with the accounting. Anyway, in this process, we wanted to see if the council would have interest in moving forward with a shared project to where we could get it paved. The shared project would be between Fifth Third Bank and the Village of St. Bernard. Again, there's 3 parcels, but 2 of which would be our responsibility and 1 that we own, plus the 1 that we have the easement on. And the total cost of each of those properties, ours would be roughly $51,000. The one that's on the Eagles property would be $22,000. So it'd be a total of $74,000 to pave that. That is slightly under the state bid limit at this point. I know it exceeds the bid limit that the council has approved previously. I did ask the law director to look at that to see if in fact you wanted to move forward with this as a joint project versus trying to coordinate two different contractors paving one parking lot. If we could do that, if you could suspend those rules or make a change just temporarily for this particular project. And I know she probably has not had much time to look at that yet, but in talking to the mayor, it would be our recommendation that based on the age of the parking lot and the fact that a third of it is going to be paved anyway, that it might make sense for us to join in that project. So if in fact it's something that's possible, we'd like to bring it back to the council for approval at a next meeting if possible. And that concludes my report unless anybody has questions on anything that I've sent to you.
Thank you. I'll
Okay,
put that on the committee of the whole agenda then.
Thank you.
Tax Administrator, Ms. Helms.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a recap for all those that didn't get to watch the CAL meeting. The tax collections for April were $1,164,470. I cannot see that. April 2025 is down 7.51% or $94,548 from April of 2024. Refunds for April were $149,716. Delinquent tax collected with capital recovery was $359. Delinquent tax collected with the Ohio Attorney General's office was $82,595. Just a few notes, Sharon and I are still auditing 2024 tax returns. We should be done by the end of June. Letters have been sent out to those missing tax documents that we need to complete our audits. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. We'll move to reports of standing committees. Finance, Mr. Morton.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Finance Committee met yesterday to discuss vacation payout policies and a home improvement fund in collaboration with LISC. We approved the vacation payouts for Chief Simos and Chief Young, identified a mock vacation payout policy moving forward, and aligned on next steps for a zero-interest home improvement loan program to assist with code infraction remedies. I want to say thank you to Chief Young for providing his research and sample materials for vacation policy, and to Mayor Stuchel for joining the meeting and offering insight on both topics. The next Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for June 18th at 6 p.m. in the lower level of City Hall. I would like to again bring attention to Head Start, which is a program that provides a variety of services to families here in St. Bernard, including comprehensive preschool programming for income-eligible children ages 3 to 5 years old, nutritious snacks and meals, and health, speech, language, and hearing screenings. Early Head Start also provides comprehensive in-home programming for children aged 3 years and younger, and weekly home visits with a qualified home educator. Jennifer Boggs from the Head Start program informed me that they already have 14 children signed up through St. Bernard Elmwood Place Elementary, but have the capacity for 2 more. So please reach out to her at 513-674-4329. Additionally, I was happy to join elected leaders from around the nation in signing a joint letter to Congress asking that they oppose any legislation that would allow any increase in the truck weight or length limit. This advocacy is led by the Coalition Against Bigger Trucks in an attempt to protect our streets and other transportation infrastructure from unnecessary damage. This group cited that the currently proposed increase in weight and length limits would result in over $3.6 billion of emergency repairs to infrastructure around the nation, thus further rationalizing my support. Lastly, I'm excited to have Resolution 5 up for a vote tonight, which kicks off our collaboration with Energy Alliance to bring the opportunity of energy aggregation to the polls this November. This financially smart opportunity for our village is a surefire way to bring relief to folks already struggling with regular bills like their utilities. I'm excited to vote yes and anticipate my colleagues on council to do the same. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Service, Mr. Gus Stuchel.
Thank you, Mr. President. The waste collection fee report for April 2025 shows that $25,527.10 was remitted to the village. As part of the waste collection report for the month of April, the service department completed the following: 45 dump trucks spotted at residents, 20 dumpsters spotted at residents, 165.99 tons of garbage taken to the landfill, 23.3 tons of recycling material sent to Rumpke Recycle, 2,160 pounds of scrap metal. 82 tires have also been collected and recycled with the Hamilton County Tire Amnesty Program over Earth Day week. And then additionally, during our hazardous waste collection day with Hamilton County Resource, St. Bernard alone contributed an average of 391 pounds of diverted material per household, helping divert waste from the 50,314 total tons of hazardous waste collected countywide during this initiative. Lastly, as a last reminder, we invite you to join us for Shred Day at the Safety Center at 4200 Vine Street this Saturday, May 24th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Please enter the Safety Center parking lot from Vine Street, follow the signs through the lot to reach the shredding truck, and then exit onto Mitchell Avenue from the back of the building. This event is free and open to all residents, a convenient way to securely dispose of old documents as part of your spring cleaning. We look forward to seeing you there. And if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me at 513-543-9044. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Public improvements, Mr. Edwards.
Thank you, Mr. President. There was no need for a Public Improvement Committee meeting, but there's a few things I would like to highlight. First, I'd like to thank Barb Jennings for giving such an informative presentation for the St. Bernard Ludlow Grove Society on the Union Terminal construction and the art and types of art and artists that made the Union Terminal such a beautiful, unique building. Those of us who love to learn the history of our area, for those of us, these meetings are a place to be every third Monday of the month in the main hall of the municipal building at 7 p.m. Next, I would like to let everyone know that the summer reading program begins at the public library on May 31st and runs through July 31st. Every kid or teen who signs up will receive a free book. Kids turn in their completed 25-day challenge anytime between June 24th and July 31st and receive a prize. Check at the library for all the details. And the last thing I would like to ask everyone to attend our Memorial Day program on Monday, honoring those who paid the highest price for their country. These are our greatest heroes. They're from our village, and we have the privilege to honor them. Thank you to those who gave so much. Thank you, Mr. President. This concludes my report.
Thank you. Safety, Ms. Hausfeld.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm just going to reiterate that the Safety Committee did meet on May the 6th. I wanted to thank the members that were there along with the attendees that showed up and put in some input. Basically, the overview of the Safety Committee meeting addressed parking and speeding issues in St. Bernard. Key points included the need for better parking management on streets like Sullivan and Ross, with suggestions such as eliminating verge parking in certain areas and installing speed cushions or other calming measures. The committee discussed the ongoing challenge of accommodating on-street parking while ensuring significant space for emergency vehicles access. Ideas were raised around converting some streets like Tower Avenue to one-way traffic to reduce congestion and to improve safety, particularly around the schools. The discussion also covered residents' frustrations with frequent speeding and the need for immediate action, including temporary speed mitigation devices. Additionally, concerns were brought up regarding the presence of commercial vehicles on residential streets. Members noted that the importance of enforcing regulations that distinguished between work vans and oversized commercial vehicles. The committee also emphasized the need for clearly displayed house numbers to assist emergency responders and addressed trash can placement at certain recurring code enforcement issues. Some of the action items: conduct a traffic study on Ross Avenue to access vehicles, counts, traffic speeds, and feasibility of new parking configurations. Explore converting Tower Avenue into one-way street, at least near the schools, to improve traffic flow and student safety. Investigate installation of temporary speed mitigation measures like speed bumps or cushions on problem streets like Sullivan. Provided Valerie with some information about house number requirements in the Ohio Building Code for ordinance review and potential updates. Coordinate with the police departments to begin issuing warnings and citations for parking on sidewalks and improper trash can placement. I, too, want to thank Bill Ungery for his years of service and wish him well in his future endeavors. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Laws, contracts, and claims, Mr. Schultmeyer.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Marketing, Mr. Culbertson.
Thanks, Mr. President. The Outdoor Aquatic Center will open for the season this Saturday, May 24th, for Memorial Day weekend. and then daily starting on May 31st. The pool will be open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Saturday, June 7th, there will be family night at the Aquatic Center from 6 to 10 p.m. The next Garden Club meeting takes place on Tuesday, June 10th, starting at 6 p.m. in the lower level of City Hall. Also on June 10th, there will be the next We Thrive meeting. This meeting starts at 7 p.m. in the main level of the Municipal Hall. And then lastly, I'd like to thank Don Mittendorf and the Service Department for the amazing job they do down at the Surefine property. I go by there every morning. It's amazing how clean and clear it looks. And by coming home at night, it couldn't look any more worse again. But I applaud everything they do to make that property look nice. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Business and Industry, Mr. Estes.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Committee of the Whole, Ms. Stegman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Minutes were submitted May 21st, and I have no communications this evening.
Thank you. At this time, will you give the first reading of Resolution Number 5, 2025?
Resolution number 5, 2025, a resolution of the Village of St. Bernard of Ohio authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute an agreement with Energy Alliances, Inc., and declaring an emergency.
Members of council, you've heard the first reading of Resolution Number 5, 2025. What is your pleasure?
Mr. President,
Mr. Schulmeyer.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend with the second and third reading of Resolution Number 5, 2025.
Seconded.
Motion by Mr. Schulmeyer, second by Mr. Morton to suspend with the second and third reading of Resolution Number 5, 2025. Are there any remarks? Not, clerk, will you call the roll on suspension?
Mr. Morton?
Aye.
Mr. Stuchel?
Aye.
Mr. Edwards?
Aye.
Ms. Hausfeld?
Aye.
Mr. Schulmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Culbertson?
Aye.
And Mr. Estep?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Members of council, what is your pleasure on adoption?
Mr. President,
Mr. Morton.
I move to adopt Resolution Number 5, 2025.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Morton, seconded by Mr. Culbertson to adopt Resolution Number 5, 2025. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Morton?
Aye.
Mr. Stuchel?
Aye.
Mr. Edwards?
Aye.
Ms. Hausfeld?
Aye.
Mr. Schulmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Culbertson?
Aye.
And Mr. Estep?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Resolution Number 5, 2025 is adopted as read. Clerk, will you please give the first reading of Resolution Number 6, 2025?
Resolution number 6, 2025, resolution authorizing a renewal 7 mil tax levy on the current real property tax rate for real property located within the Village of St. Bernard, Hamilton County, Ohio, certifying said resolution to the Hamilton County Auditor and declaring an emergency.
Members of council, you've heard the first reading of Resolution Number 6, 2025. What is your pleasure?
Mr. President,
Mr. Schulmeyer.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend with the second and third reading of Resolution Number 6, 2025.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Schulmeyer, seconded by Mr. Edwards to suspend with the second and third reading of Resolution Number 6, 2025. Are there any remarks? If not, clerk, will you please call the roll on suspension?
Mr. Morton?
Aye.
Mr. Stuchel?
Aye.
Mr. Edwards?
Aye.
Ms. Hausfeld?
Aye.
Mr. Schulmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Culbertson?
Aye.
Mr. Estep?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Members of council, what is your pleasure on adoption?
Mr. President,
Mr. Morton.
I move to adopt Resolution Number 6, 2025.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Morton, seconded by Mr. Estep to adopt Resolution Number 6, 2025. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Morton?
Aye.
Mr. Stuchel?
Aye.
Mr. Edwards?
Aye.
Ms. Hausfeld?
Aye.
Mr. Schulmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Culbertson?
Aye.
And Mr. Estep?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Resolution Number 6, 2025 is adopted as read. Clerk, will you please give the first reading of Resolution Number 7, 2025?
Resolution number 7, 2025, a resolution to approve the final Hamilton County 911 plan pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Chapter 128, and declaring an emergency.
Members of council, you've heard the first reading of Resolution Number 7, 2025. What is your pleasure?
Mr. President,
Mr. Schulmeyer.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend with the second and third reading of Resolution Number 7, 2025.
I'll second that, Mr. President.
Motion by Mr. Schulmeyer, seconded by Ms. Hausfeld to suspend with the second and third reading of Resolution Number 7, 2025. Are there any remarks? If not, clerk, will you please call the roll on suspension?
Mr. Morton?
Aye.
Mr. Stuchel?
Aye.
Mr. Edwards?
Aye.
Ms. Hausfeld?
Aye.
Mr. Schuldmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Culbertson?
Aye.
And Mr. Estep?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Members of council, what is your pleasure on adoption?
Mr. President,
Mr. Schultmeyer.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 7, 2025.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Schultmeyer, seconded by Mr. Culbertson, to adopt resolution number 7, 2025. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Morton?
Aye.
Mr. Stuchel?
Aye.
Mr. Edwards?
Aye.
Ms. Hausfeld?
Aye.
Mr. Schuldmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Culbertson?
Aye.
And Mr. Estep?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Resolution number 7, 2025 is adopted as read. Clerk, will you please give the first reading of resolution number 8, 2025?
Resolution number 8, 2025, a resolution authorizing the mayor to prepare and to submit an application to the participant into the Metro, and participate in the Metro Transit Infrastructure Fund programmed to execute contracts as required and declaring an emergency.
Members of council, you've heard the first reading of resolution number 8, 2025. What is your pleasure?
Mr. President,
Mr. Schultmeyer.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend with the second and third reading of resolution number 8, 2025.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Schultmeyer, seconded by Mr. Culbertson, to suspend with the second and third reading of resolution number 8, 2025. Are there any remarks? If not, clerk, will you please call the roll on suspension?
Mr. Morton?
Aye.
Mr. Stuchel?
Aye.
Mr. Edwards?
Aye.
Ms. Hausfeld?
Aye.
Mr. Schuldmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Culbertson?
Aye.
And Mr. Estep?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Members of council, what is your pleasure on adoption?
Mr. President,
Mr. Schultmeyer.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 8, 2025.
Motion by Mr. Schultmeyer, seconded by Mr. Morton, to adopt resolution number 8, 2025. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Morton?
Aye.
Mr. Stuchel?
Aye.
Mr. Edwards?
Aye.
Ms. Hausfeld?
Aye.
Mr. Schuldmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Culbertson?
Aye.
And Mr. Estep?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Resolution number 8, 2025 is adopted as read. Clerk, will you please give the first reading of ordinance number 15, 2025?
Ordinance number 15, 2025, authorizing and directing the auditor to transfer funds and appropriate additional funds and declaring an emergency.
Members of council, you've heard the first reading of ordinance number 15, 2025. What is your pleasure?
Mr. President,
Mr. Schultmeyer.
I'll make a motion to suspend with the second and third reading of ordinance number 15, 2025.
Seconded.
Motion by Mr. Schultmeyer, seconded by Mr. Morton, to suspend with the second and third reading of of ordinance number 15, 2025. Are there any remarks? If not, is there anyone in the audience wishing to address council on ordinance 15? This is ordinance 15, Tom. Clerk, will you call the roll on suspension?
Mr. Morton?
Aye.
Mr. Stuchel?
Aye.
Mr. Edwards?
Aye.
Ms. Hausfeld?
Aye.
Mr. Schuldmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Culbertson?
Aye.
And Mr. Estep?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Members of council, what is your pleasure on adoption?
Mr. President,
Mr. Schultmeyer.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 15, 2025.
Seconded.
Motion by Mr. Schultmeyer, seconded by Mr. Morton, to adopt ordinance number 15, 2025. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Morton?
Aye.
Mr. Stuchel?
Aye.
Mr. Edwards?
Aye.
Ms. Hausfeld?
Aye.
Mr. Schuldmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Culbertson?
Aye.
And Mr. Estep?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Ordinance number 15, 2025 is adopted as read. Clerk, will you please give the first reading of ordinance number 16, 2025?
Ordinance number 16, 2025, authorizing the transfer of a certain property to the Community Improvement Corporation and declaring an emergency.
Members of council, you've heard the first reading of ordinance number 16, 2025. What is your pleasure?
Mr. President,
Mr. Schultmeyer.
make a motion to suspend with the second and third reading of ordinance number 16, 2025.
Seconded.
Motion by Mr. Schultmeyer, seconded by Mr. Morton, to suspend with the second and third reading of ordinance number 16, 2025. Are there any remarks? Not, is there anyone in the audience wishing to address council on ordinance number 16? Not, clerk, will you please call the roll on suspension?
Mr. Morton?
Aye.
Mr. Stuchel?
Aye.
Mr. Edwards?
Aye.
Ms. Hausfeld?
Aye.
Mr. Schuldmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Culbertson?
Aye.
And Mr. Estep?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays. Motion carries. Members of council, what is your pleasure on adoption?
Mr. President,
Mr. Schultmeyer.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance number 16, 2025.
Seconded.
Motion by Mr. Schultmeyer, seconded by Mr. Morton, to adopt ordinance number 16, 2025. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Morton?
Aye.
Mr. Stuchel?
Aye.
Mr. Edwards?
Aye.
Ms. Hausfeld?
Aye.
Mr. Schulmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Culbertson?
Aye.
And Mr. Estep?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Ordinance number 16, 2025 is adopted as read. At this time, does anyone on council have anything under old business?
Mr. President,
Ms. Hausfeld?
I'm not sure if this is considered new or old, because it could be either or. But Tim, I finally remembered what I wanted to ask you. I had some residents up by where I live on Tower. There's a lot of workers out there that's been marking the streets and stuff, and we're assuming it's the waterworks that has been doing road work on Church Street.
I think it's a continuation of the gas lines that are coming up Church Street.
Okay.
So it's part of that project to upgrade the natural gas service by Duke.
Do we have any clue when that's, sorry, Mr. President, do we have any clue when that's starting?
I do not, but I can find out and get back with you tomorrow.
Does anyone else on council have anything under old business?
Mr. President.
Mayor.
So this evening, we're supposed to have the respective ordinance for the funding that we're going to be sharing with the city of Cincinnati for the improvements made on Mitchell. Unfortunately, the city of Cincinnati did not produce the necessary documents, so I could not have the corresponding legislation, so it's going to get pushed off another month. So just want to let you know why I didn't have it.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything under old business? Does anyone on council have anything under new business?
Mr. President.
I'm good. I'm going to make the motion, we go into executive session to discuss pending and possible litigation.
Seconded.
Motion by Mr. Culbertson, second by Mr. Morton, to go into executive session at the end of this meeting to discuss pending and potential litigation. Clerk, will you call the roll on the motion?
Mr. Morton?
Aye.
Mr. Stuchel?
Aye.
Mr. Edwards?
Aye.
Ms. Hausfeld?
Aye.
Mr. Schulmeyer? Mr. Culbertson?
Aye.
And Mr. Estep?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Council will go into executive session to discuss pending and potential litigation at the end of the meeting. At this time, is there anyone in the audience wishing to address council this evening? Please state your name and address for the record.
Task Fox 309,000. Garbage out Monday. Not.
Mr. President.
Mayor.
So there will be no garbage collection on Monday. If Monday is your normal collection day, it moves to Tuesday. If Tuesday is your normal collection day, it moves to Wednesday. Thursday and Friday remains unchanged. So please do not put your garbage out on Memorial Day.
Memorial Day, Ray. Yeah.
There is not, Mr. President, there is not a Memorial Day parade. We do have an annual service that we hold in the lower lot of City Hall at 10 a.m. So you're invited to come to that, where we're actually able to honor and respect the veterans that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. But no, there will not be a parade. We're saving the parade for the German luau, where it's an appropriate time to celebrate, be happy, and have a great time. But this is out of respect and reverence to not be about clowns and candy and floats. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. President,
Ms.
I
Brickley.
have something. I'd like to be put on the agenda for the committee of the whole that we discussed moving our purchasing the bids to $75,000 to match the state. We had discussed that in the past, and I think it fell through. I think we forgot to continue with that. And then also, I don't know if this needs to be put on an agenda, but as I prepare the summer budget for the June meeting, I'd like to have the public hearing before the June council meeting at 7 o'clock for me to read the report. And that.
You could get with Heidi and have her put that on the calendar. That'd probably be adequate. Anyone else in the audience? If not, at this time, council will go into executive session to discuss pending litigation and potential litigation, and we will be back when we are finished. right, council is back from executive session where we discussed pending and potential litigation. Next committee of the whole is June 12th at 7 PM. This time I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. President,
Mr. Culbertson.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Seconded.
Motion by Mr. Culbertson, seconded by Mr. Morton to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.